Welcome to Hello Downtown, a podcast by Downtown Sioux Falls.
This is Hello Downtown, the podcast where we explore the people, the places, and the pulse of our city's core. I'm your host, Brandon Hanson, and every episode we dive into the stories shaping life in the heart of Sioux Falls. So whether you're downtown every day or just downtown at heart, let's jump in. Welcome back to Hello Downtown. We are coming to you at an exciting milestone as we wrap up our second season of Open Streets. Just kind of after we turned it from a pilot project into a never-ending effort of DTSF, which is awesome. So it's been amazing to see it just kind of take hold of the community and become one of our signature events, as we call them, right out of the gate, honestly. And I think a lot of other events took a lot of years to get to the state we're in. So
you're happy to be at the never ending stage, right?
I am. I think that's actually really wonderful. We have just one event left on August 7th, and it's a great time to reflect on the impact that these events have had across our community in downtown. And I'm here today with a special guest, Lindsay Holmquist with AARP South Dakota.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. So, Open Streets has brought people together to walk, play, and connect in spaces designed for people first. And a key partner, of course, in making these events and dreaming them up has been AARP South Dakota from the very beginning. Those were almost day 1 and 2 for myself at the DTSF organization.
Is that right?
I mean, it was pretty close. That. So back in October of 2024, well before that, we were discussing how to do this and bringing in partners like 880 Cities and a couple of just community stakeholders over a Zoom call and dreaming up what this could be. I don't think we had the name at that point.
No, I don't think we did. But that just goes to show you, AARP South Dakota will make an ask right when you start, right? We'll say, hey, we want you to get involved in something.
Well, DTSF has been around for 38 years. So you are asking DTSF, not Brandon, 2 days old at Very DTSF. True. So, well, Lindsay, you are the Associate State Director of Community Outreach for AARP. What a long title.
Yes, we like to do that at AARP.
That's amazing. And you're here to talk about the vision behind Open Streets, the shared goal of creating safer and more walkable communities, and what's next for South Dakota communities looking to build a culture of active living and connection.
Yeah.
I have about a dozen questions to grill you on.
All right, let's do it.
So just as one of the organizations that helps spearhead Open Streets in Sioux Falls, what first attracted AARP to this concept? I know it's not unique necessarily to Sioux Falls. The way we do it maybe is, but why do you guys care about this concept? That's
a great question. And we get that question a lot. Why is AARP involved in this like livable work, right? Don't we just focus on things like Social Security and Medicare and things that matter to the 50 plus? And we do. So our members are, 50 and older for the most part. We do have some members who are younger than 50. And what we strive to do is empower people to choose how they live as they age. And for us, that really means choosing life in your community and what that looks like and how you get around and what you access and where you go and what you do, all of those things. What we do for all, but we do keep the 50 plus in mind. So when we think about livable communities and open streets, it means that folks can, choose not to drive if they don't want to. And that means being able to walk around and bike around and just get around the community in maybe a different way than we often think about, right? So Open Streets gave us the chance to reimagine public space, how we use it, how we get there, what we do when we're there. We kind of had this nugget of an idea and then came to y'all at DTSF and said, hey, let's try something because you are so good at that larger community programming in that way.
Well, looking back in October of 2024, the original way to get this done was to pair it with an art and wine walk.
Yeah.
Which was in October, which it no longer is. But we shut down a street and did some arts programming in addition to art and wine walk. And that kind of concept still exists today in the May and now the August versions of Open Streets. But can you just explain what it was like getting to that point back then?
Sure. You mentioned 880 Cities, which is a livable communities organization that we've worked closely with before. Actually, DTSF partnered with us and did some winter placemaking. So we had sort of this idea of what does it look like to, pop something up. And I know you all have done that before too. We hadn't, to my knowledge, really closed down a street before and tried to activate that space and do something different. So we worked with 80/80 Cities to do really in that pilot. We wanted to do some research. We wanted to know, who's already coming downtown. What does that look like? When we activate a space, how does that change what that looks like? So we did really a bunch of the kind of maybe boring, nerdy side of things, right? You all program things, and we did some of that measurement where we literally had volunteers on the street counting people or watching what people were doing and just sort of paying attention to who's here and who's not. 80/80 Cities took that data that we collected and really kind of ran it. And you remember they did a great report for us and showed us who's coming to this, who's here, who's not. I will say that first year, we did sort of a control session as well. So after that event, we were down here on a first Friday, just nothing was programmed, nothing was happening. And the comparison was astounding, I think, right? I mean, when you looked at that report, I remember you being a little bit surprised. The whole demographic of who was showing up downtown changed. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And I think that just led us to want to keep trying and want to do other things. Our big intention really is to bring the community out. I know that's what you all do too. We want our members to know that there are things going on that they can try maybe for the first time. Come down with us and be brave and try something and experience something that you haven't before. And so I think that's why our partnership worked so very well.
Yeah. And it takes the most minute amount of bravery to come out to an open streets, to be clear.
It's true. Yes.
It's food trucks and it's sometimes free watermelon. I mean, it's really pretty fun.
Yes.
And so,
absolutely. But sometimes it's also nice to know, like, hey, other ARP members are going to be down there and I can join them and be with them and not be alone, right? Know that you are welcome there. So that's really what we try to do and say, hey, this is going on and we're going to be there. Come join us. Yeah.
So it's been a couple of years since I have looked at the data from 80 Cities and that report, but I'm going to try and rattle off a couple of things that really did shock me. Mm-hmm. One was the demographic flip from male to female.
Yes.
It was, kind of teetering on 50% either way, but on a non-open streets day, it was closer to like 60% male.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's shifted to 60% female during an open streets event. And you could say maybe that's some of the arts and culture programming, maybe that's XYZ, but I think something else that popped out was this feeling of safety skyrocketed as well.
Absolutely.
And so those two together, seem like there's a correlation or causation or however you want to say it. So
it's been a while since I took a stats class.
Right.
So
same. And then I think the other one for me was, especially with DTSF's mission of driving foot traffic to this district for the benefit of the business community down here, 90% had responded that they discovered a new business in downtown. And so it really became this idea of a welcome invitation to even locals.
Absolutely.
That downtown looks different almost every day.
That's right.
Development is slow in that world, economic development, but the entire district looks different almost every day. And there's something new all the time. And so it's important to get out and check it out.
Yeah.
And kind of come up for air every now and then.
Yeah. An event is a great thing to bring people here, but to really get them moving around, I think Art and Wine Walk was the perfect way to get it started, right? It sort of, the idea was to get people moving around, stopping into businesses, checking out local art. It was a perfect pairing.
Yeah. And we were able to kind of ramp this way up in 2025, where we expanded it from one pilot to we're going to do this all summer long. And we did that through a community challenge grant through AARP.
Yes.
National, the national organization, your parent organization, however you refer to it. But part of that community challenge grant was applying through the application. It was talking about how do we take public infrastructure and reconnect human beings. Right. And so one of the themes that we often hear is that, open streets demonstrates that, what our community could look like when people, not just cars, are prioritized. And that has stayed true. Even through today's version of that, and it will be next year and the year after that. That's really important to us. So how do AARP's goals around walkability, accessibility, safe streets, and probably a dozen other things overlap with what open streets is accomplishing?
Oh man, so many different things. I mean, I know Eric has talked about the 8 domains of livability. So it's all of those pieces. It's not just understanding built environment, but it's that sort of social connection piece as well is such an important thing in what AARP tries to do. So it's not really just about, closing down a street and having some fun things to do. It's, are there opportunities for people to connect? And from there, to kind of move around and explore in maybe a different way, right? I think we're all used to driving downtown if you don't live here, parking somewhere, and then sort of moving around as you need to with your vehicle, right? When we talk about walkability, I like to talk about safe, comfortable, interesting, right? So you touched on safety. You want to feel safe in the space that you're in, whatever that means. Comfortable, like I'm just looking out here on Phillips Avenue right now, right? There's some shade, thankfully, because it's a very warm day.
We could use more trees, though.
We could use some more
There's
trees.
some shade.
Right, yes. Maybe I'm looking at the building causing shade right now. But things like, lighting and shade are very helpful, depending on what time of day you're walking around. But that interesting piece, I think that's where downtown is getting really even more fun. There's art, there's sculpture, there's, vibrant storefronts. There's even, greenery and plants to look at. So walking around has to be not just, point A to point B. It's got to be those 3 things, right? I feel comfortable where I am. It's easy enough to walk around. And it's also interesting. I want to be here. I want to look around. I want to stop and sit or browse or whatever it might be. So yeah, I think those are kind of our goals, to keep people connected. It's easy, I think, for us to look at kind of the core neighborhoods in downtown as a starting point, but eventually to sort of spread that out across the city. Because we don't want to just talk about walkability and talk about downtown necessarily. We are doing a great job because we're focusing on downtown, but then how do we make it safe, comfortable, and interesting for people to walk or ride or whatever they want to do to get downtown from wherever you are in the city? So that's something that I think we're gonna look more at and expand a little more at too. When you talked about complete streets, that means the entire city, right? That's wherever there's development or redevelopment or opportunities to make change across the city. How do we make sure people can get where they need to go and do what they need to do if they don't have a car or don't want to drive a car?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's they're kind of complicated topics, and it makes me go back to the name of the event too, of Open Streets.
Sure.
We refer to them as street closures. So why call it Open Streets?
Because it's open to people.
Yeah.
Closed to cars, open to people. Yeah, you're not wrong. When we're sort of in this world, it's easy for us to kind of use some of that jargon and we understand it, right? But the basics are, we want people to be able to choose how they get around. We want people to be able to experience space in different ways. So whatever language you use, I think those are kind of the basics.
Yeah, no, I was sort of leading the witness a little bit. We're part of the naming of it, and that has been very intentional, even to the fact where, we're scouring our website and our blog posts and our articles with people like Jody Schwan and saying, do not use the word closed.
Right.
Like, our perspective is from the human being,
Yes.
from the walker.
Yes.
Not like zombie walker, but human being in downtown. There is a zombie walk in October.
That's true.
But the name has been very Every part of it has been intentional,
Yes.
including even the word open.
Absolutely.
So
keep it very positive. Help
Very
people understand this is an open space for them.
yes. And you guys have continued to have a presence at most of our Open Streets events.
Yeah, we've missed one. Only one.
July 4th is a challenge, I think, for most people, us included. But you're sponsoring, the May one each year, but you're still showing up to the rest. And so it's been really unique, I think, to see a partner showing up and participating as well.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, maybe talking about the pairing of the type of event and our shared missions of just making sure it's an actual good fit. But from your personal experience attending these events, what moments or interactions have stood out to you?
Oh, man. I have to say and give kudos to DTSF staff. The programming has been incredible. So those of you, if you haven't been to one yet, come on down. There's something for everybody. I've really enjoyed, I'll say, the Art and Wine Walk pieces, especially when there's interactive art. And I know, just speaking from our perspective, from the AARP tent, all last year we had an interactive art piece, which I loved, letting people kind of come in and be part of what we were creating. And it helped them see our piece in particular came from like, where are you coming from in the city to get downtown, which I think was really eye-opening for people to see how many folks were coming from every corner of our city to get there. It's honestly not the big flashy things that stand out to me, though. I'm remembering the watermelon on the 4th of July last year, right? Just those simple things that feel like, it almost makes us feel like a small town down here, right? We're doing a little small town celebration where everybody just knows everybody and shares a piece of watermelon. Those are the things that stick out for me. There've been a ton of great vendors. The aerial artists always both delight and terrify me because
I think they let you try it out. They let some people try it out. I will watch from the sidelines for sure. Those are some strong and talented people. But yeah, I think, like I said, there's something for everyone. Which is an important piece for AARP, right? Something for people of all ages to enjoy while you're there. We love seeing that intergenerational piece where there are little kids running around and there are older adults having fun as well. So yeah, it's a perfect match for AARP to be there. And we're so glad to be. That's great. Yeah, we've really tried to as well kind of pinpoint locations that can lead to other advocacy efforts that DTSF is interested in. And so even the one right outside the Orpheum, you now see a crosswalk from the Orpheum entrance, not exclusively because of open streets, but getting people to use this public infrastructure differently has supported a use case to add a crosswalk. And that's true of a bunch of other places that we've held these. So
yeah, certainly. It's really interesting. And all credit to, our city staff who are doing all of this planning for folks, but it's very interesting when you see people out and about, probably walking right there anyway, right? Where there hadn't been a crosswalk before. So people will tell you what they need and where they need it. It's just, are we watching and listening and helping to make it happen?
Human behavior. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably the best form of public input, honestly.
That's right.
So, well, no community initiative is, of course, ever finished. So where do you see the greatest opportunities for growth when it comes to making downtown Sioux Falls more walkable, more connected, and more safe for everyone?
Wow, that's a great question. I honestly think the opportunities will present themselves when we get everyone to understand how great it is here downtown. If you don't spend a lot of time downtown, come down here. There's so much to do. And it is really very easy to get around, to use the parking ramps. I'm just going to throw that out there because that's the hill I will die on. The ramps are great and you can walk around and get everywhere you need to get. I know that there are a ton of projects happening to, again, make it safe, comfortable, and interesting. And to your point, I think we have great opportunities for people to engage and to share their input and to say what they need. I know DTSF is listening. The city is listening. If you're an ARP member, come talk to us. We can help elevate that too. But really, I think connectivity is pretty great. And we have some opportunities to make sure that continues down the road, right? There's some big projects coming up and it's going to take all of us to kind of share our thoughts, share our ideas, and collaboratively work together, make sure that those things are walkable and livable in great places for everybody.
This is Hello Downtown.
Welcome back to Hello Downtown. Today we're joined by Andrew Etram, which I'm pretty sure many people mispronounce your name. I'm sure you get that a lot.
It happens.
President and principal architect at ARC Inc. or Architecture Incorporated. Andrew has spent nearly his entire career with the firm.
Whole career.
I think I just saw 19
years.
Just hit that milestone.
Just a couple of weeks ago.
That's awesome. Helping lead one of Sioux Falls' most respected and community-minded companies, downtown business as well. Beautiful building there, as it should be with an architect firm.
Yes, sir.
But also hitting a major milestone for the company.
Brennan, we are celebrating 50 years in business in 2026. So lots of reflecting on past relationships, past projects, all of the things that lead to being able to be in business and be a successful company in this town, in this region, in this state for 50 years.
Yeah, and I did make a point to say that you hit 19 years.
Yes,
that people
correct.
didn't think you hit 50 years
Correct.
at the firm. So, beyond your work as an architect, you are deeply involved in Sioux Falls through organizations like Sculpture Walk, Forward Sioux Falls, Junior Achievement, which that one, we got a family connection there,
Correct.
but you still you do it because you care about it. I know,
Exactly.
and I know there's probably 24 more beyond that other people at your firm are involved in too. So, welcome to the show.
I'm excited, Brandon. Looking forward to this.
Yeah. Before we jump in, I do want to share a quick story. So you're here because of your involvement in the organization, but also in our most recent Open Streets events. You were just the sponsor of the June event where we transformed downtown into an 18-hole mini golf course. Every hole was actually designed by a different architect or engineer. We had a coffee shop design one as well. So just different businesses who are members of DTSF. The response was incredible. We had 21,000 people in that area of downtown, in that sub-district of downtown. And I think my favorite part of the evening is pretty early on, you pulled me aside and said, "This is kind of lame." Very sarcastically. It was so fun.
It was sarcastic, obviously. That was an amazing evening. Architecture Incorporated partnered with DTSF last year to sponsor one of the art and wine walks. And so you approached us again with the opportunity to support downtown. And as a downtown business for over 40 of our 50 years in business, we've been located downtown. It's a natural thing for us to want to support DTSF and the things that you guys do as an organization. And so we started talking early, and I shared the 50th anniversary deal, and I shared that we were rebranding. And I mean, you came up with the idea as soon as you mentioned that mini golf.
Don't
idea.
say that. I've been blaming you to my team.
Oh, really?
They all had to figure it out. No.
Well,
No.
it was Brandon's idea, and
Perfect.
it was a genius one. As soon as you said it, I thought, "Oh, this sounds pretty awesome." When you mentioned we were going to try it on Main instead of Phillips, I wondered how that would go, but it was awesome. I mean, the energy that night, the attendance that night was it was incredible.
And you're a golfer. I mean, you literally just wrapped up another 100 holes of
That
golf.
was right up my alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little bit of manipulation on my part, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Nailed
good.
it.
Good. Well, you designed a hole too. You guys had the first hole of the 18-hole course, and it was part of this whole 50-year celebration. You guys did this massive rebrand. Can you just talk about making a hole?
Making a hole was fun. Finding the time and putting in some of that work to come up with concepts and figure out how we're going to execute it. A couple of nights, there were a handful of people at my house putting this thing together. And so I think that the teamwork, the effort that we put together as a small group inside the office to make this thing happen, I mean, that was just as fun as seeing it in place on Main Avenue and seeing everybody down there enjoying a beautiful summer evening in downtown Sioux Falls.
Yeah, I think we were a little overwhelmed by the response from the community. I didn't necessarily, I thought people would enjoy it, but I didn't think that it would be that massive. I mean, there was an hour-long wait.
Do you have any idea how many people played?
I don't right now, but I know we have that data.
Yeah.
So
It was wild.
I had to cut the line off.
I had an 8-year-old who is also a lover of golf, and he was dead set on playing. And we found the line, and it's like, buddy, we got to be patient. This is going to take a while. And he was dead set on it, and we had a great time. It was awesome.
Yeah, I did see a couple of kids dressed in the full golf gear, and I was hoping some people would take it way serious. I mean, we were early iterations. We were considering having golf carts in like caddies, so maybe next year.
The problem was the attendance. Too many people. Golf carts would have been a tough logistical challenge.
Yep. We need some more streets or something next year. But as your firm hits 50 years, though, and someone who's worked only there, how does that feel?
It's a pretty awesome milestone. I mean, a lot of times you can you're doing the work and you're paying attention to individual projects or individual calendar years from a business perspective, and you don't often take time to sort of step back and take a broader look at things and understand and reflect, like I said earlier, all of the relationships, the partnerships, the projects, the impact that we're able to have as architects and designers. I mean, it's a pretty amazing thing. And for, we've got a mix of newer, younger staff and people that have been there for much longer than I have. And seeing that dynamic of people asking questions, or we're doing a social media campaign where we're posting about projects kind of on a timeline basis. And so seeing younger staff interact with others and learning about projects we've done in the 1980s or the 1970s, it's been a really fun effort inside the office to pull all this together and look back and really try and take stock of where we've been and how we've gotten to where we are.
Yeah, I notice your culture is pretty incredible as well. I don't know if you guys are doing something specific to define that or guide that. I know it's an employee-owned organization.
We've got a group of 9 shareholders, 9 partners that are part of our company, both here in Sioux Falls and then office out in Rapid City as well.
Yeah. Well, one thing I certainly appreciate about Arc Inc. is that your team, you don't just sponsor community projects and walk away. It's not just a handoff of a check. You guys show up, you participate, you guys were golfing, you were making a hole. I think one thing you said to me a year ago when we were talking about this is, we would do something in August again, but we're not going to be around. We're taking some time off. And it's really important to us that our people actually participate, and it's just deeper.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's ingrained in our culture from the people that were at our firm before me, that as an architect, as a designer, you're having an impact in our community, in our state. But that impact goes beyond the projects that we work on. We should be active participants in any way you can find, whether that's volunteering or getting involved in boards or commissions or other things. That being an active participant in our community is a big thing and always has been a big thing at our firm. And I'm, that's ingrained in me as well, just from my upbringing, that's something that I'm in my role, I'm making sure that we carry forward for sure into the future.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just have such good people too. I know they're capable and they don't need you every 5 seconds to make decisions. You asked the question about culture. I think the simplest thing is hire really good people. And we've got an amazing group of good people at their core that also happen to be really, really talented professionals. Happen to be.
Yeah.
That's good. That's great. So architecture firms in general, and we have a lot of them in downtown, but you get a unique perspective because you shape the places where people live, work, gather. You literally have your fingerprints on many, many projects, even in downtown. So when you look at downtown Sioux Falls today and all the future of what's kind of happening to the east here, what excites you most?
Downtown Sioux Falls has just got a unique energy. It's a place of business. It's a place where people come to gather, like an open streets event. It's a place for entertainment. I mean, all of the things that happen down here. That's why we want to have our office in downtown. That's why we want to be involved in organizations like Downtown Sioux Falls. There just is there's an energy and a feeling in Downtown Sioux Falls that you can't beat.
Yeah, I had a couple of, I don't live in downtown, but I had a neighbor who just moved out of our neighborhood to get a loft in downtown, and they're beyond retirement age. And they kind of articulated that as they feel alive again, just by being in downtown and having all this activity and movement and arts and culture. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. My wife and I, we live south of downtown 12 or 14 blocks, and she works downtown as well. If we meet for lunch, we're meeting downtown. If we're going out on a Friday or Saturday night, we're coming downtown. I mean, downtown just kind of grabs you, and it's where you want to be and where you want to hang out and where you want to work. And it's just a great place.
Yeah, like before we turned the mics on, I loved you were saying you had a lunch appointment on the calendar, and you just got kind of in the mode of things, and it's just unusual to you to have someone put a calendar invite on your calendar that's not in downtown.
Somewhere not downtown.
What are you thinking, people?
Yeah, crazy.
Why the food is better down here? Knock it off. Yeah. Well, just more on your giving back beyond DTSF. Between Sculpture Walk, Forward Sioux Falls, you guys have a scholarship program. I think every fall, or I guess when the school starts.
Correct. So 5 years ago, we started the Creative Solutions in Education Grant Program
for teachers,
for K through 12 educators.
Yep.
And so we've had the ability to award 10, 12 grants over the last 5 years, might be more than that, but this is to support educators. So K-12 education is a huge market for us specifically. And we see what teachers are trying to do and the efforts that they're making to educate our youth. And so anything we can do to support educators, it's always been a priority of ours. And this idea that we had a handful of years ago has proven to be really, really successful. I think, the only shame is we get far more applicants every year than what we can afford to fund. So the need is obviously there, and we're trying to do our part by finding really creative, unique ways that these educators are looking to enhance their classroom experience.
What are some of the examples of what they've used the grant for?
There is a therapy dog in a school out, I forget the specific district, but out West River.
Mm-hmm.
There was some kind of modular or movable stage components for a school in town. It can be, some of them are hundreds of dollars worth of grant funds, and some of them are thousands of dollars. What we're looking for is something that is creative, unique, impactful, et cetera. And it's really fun. From time to time, we will get information or updates from the districts or from the educator who's using whatever component or tool or device that we supported. And it's great to see and hear the impact that those things are having in those districts. So it's a great program.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things that we do at our office is that, and our staff loves it. Every year we have a handful of people that volunteer for a committee, and they're reviewing 85 applications that are pretty detailed, and they take a lot of time and pride in figuring out what are we funding, what's going to have the most impact, how do we figure out how to maximize that impact inside of the budget that we've got established. We get lots of participation for people wanting to go out and be part of surprising those educators and awarding them their check and doing the grant presentation. So it's a really, really cool thing that we do. I'm super proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. When you say K through 12 education is a large market for you, are you talking about a pipeline for employees eventually, or are you talking more so you guys build schools?
Design projects.
Yeah.
Building schools. So we've done K through 12 education, starting back, Hawthorne Elementary School, just west of downtown in the 1980s, and so we've been doing lots and lots of K-12 education projects across the state for a very long time. That's a really big market for us.
I think there's actually a picture of a school right on the side of your building.
There is currently a picture of a school on the side of our building. That's up in Brookings. Yes.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I think the commitment to giving in this community is pretty strong with ARC Inc. It's maybe, you've been a member of DTSF for a very long time, but the sponsorship relationship has been a couple of years now.
Yeah.
But I know that you guys are giving all over the place, and it's just cool to see. As you think about the next decade for Sioux Falls, what's one opportunity or project you love to see our community tackle? whether you're involved or not?
I think the easy answer is just to continue to thoughtfully improve and expand downtown. There's the Riverline district, which has a ton of potential. There's the redevelopment on the Smithfield site. I mean, there's massive potential for big swaths of an area adjacent to downtown to redevelop and reshape the footprint and the impact and the things that are available to do in and around downtown, and understanding the importance of really good planning and making sure that we maximize those two opportunities, massive opportunities for Sioux Falls and downtown. I think those are really key areas in our community.
Why is that? Or why does it excite you?
Like I said, I mean, downtown just has this energy, and it's such a dynamic place to be. And it should be the heartbeat of the community. And so the stronger downtown is, the stronger Sioux Falls is, the stronger Minnehaha County is, the stronger the state is. I mean, I really do, not to have a Sioux Falls centric view of things, but downtown Sioux Falls is a massive part of the puzzle in Sioux Falls and in the region and in the state.
You must be getting our newsletters. Well, can you just also maybe explain a little bit? You said thoughtfully expand. What does that mean, especially from an architect?
I think it's understanding what that big vision can be. What are the appropriate components that should be on those sites? Whether there's public facilities, public investment, private investment. It's two really big pieces of property that may need to make sure that to maximize it, we shouldn't be rushing into anything. There should just be good, thoughtful planning to make sure that the vision that's created is something that is a huge asset to downtown.
You are listening to Hello Downtown, a podcast by Downtown Sioux Falls Incorporated. I'm Brandon Hansen.
I'm Taryn Sietsema with Downtown Sioux Falls. Here is today's member moment. Hello, everyone. I am joined by Adam Niffin, Market President at First Bank and Trust, right here in beautiful downtown Sioux Falls today. Hello, Adam.
Good morning. Well, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. I know it's Monday. I mean,
Yep.
It's okay if we don't really know the exact time, right?
Long weekend.
And it works. Yeah.
Long
And it's
weekend.
warm and hot,
Yes.
but beautiful
Very much.
in downtown. Are you ready to get after this?
I am ready.
All right. Question number 1. Describe your business in 5 words or less.
Ooh, 5. Family, community,
Mhm.
Empowerment, innovative, and stable.
Love that. Stable's important.
Yes.
Question-
Nowadays, stability
Right,
is very important.
I mean, it's an important
Yes.
thing. Question number 2, this or that. Riverfest or Parade of Lights?
We got to go Parade of Lights.
I mean, you're a sponsor. You're the
We are.
presenting sponsor. So yeah, I mean, amazing.
I mean, who doesn't want to walk off everything that they had over Thanksgiving and
For real.
be outside, and the attendance continues to grow, and hopefully we continue to have great weather.
Just a really cool experience too. Summer patio drinks or winter cozy cocktails?
Oh man, both.
I know.
The
It's really
summer
hard.
you want to be outside.
For sure.
The winter, my wife and I love just to nestle in and find some
Yeah.
Netflix or whatever shows on. And, we're both very busy with kids, and
Yeah.
sometimes just being a homebody is
Cozy.
the place to be.
Yep. That makes sense. Number 3, what's your go-to downtown guilty pleasure? A coffee drink, snack, hidden gem, or a little routine that you can't resist?
I'm a big foodie. I love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So trying new things, restaurants, is something that I really do enjoy. Kind of if I need to break away, like just seeing creativity and not the normal that people get to. It's that's probably what
and we're
really
so
do enjoy
blessed
that
with all
about
the creativity
yes.
downtown. I mean, you just can't beat all of the great restaurants that we have. So
for sure.
We're very spoiled, which
sure.
is great. Number 4, if downtown Sioux Falls had a mascot, what would it be?
This is interesting. Maybe quartzite,
Nice. Just quartzite.
or maybe multiple different types of quartzite that could represent
Okay.
the diversity of downtown Sioux Falls.
Yeah, I like that. Going with the different layers of downtown
Yes.
Sioux Falls. Okay. That's a pretty deep mascot take. I would
That
say that
is.
might be the deepest one I've had yet. So that's impressive, Adam. I love that. Okay. Last question. For people walking into your business for the first time, what's one key thing they should know about you?
That we're family owned,
Mm-hmm.
and employee owned. I think that's important. No matter what business that you're in, that the people that are there to serve the community are invested in the community and are empowered to do their job the right way. And I just think having that family and employee ownership, just really sets us apart.
Yeah.
On how we do what we do, which is take care
Amazing.
of our community.
I love that. And you do. And thank you so much for your membership and also for sponsoring Parade of Lights for so many years too. We really appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
And all you do for our community.
Thank you for everything.
Thanks for coming on today. Appreciate you.
This is Hello Downtown.
Downtown Open Streets is back. Join us this summer as we create a car-free community playground with 4 family-friendly events at the start of each month.
Find more about Open Streets and all events in downtown Sioux Falls at our website, dtsf.com. dtsf.com.